Hello everyone, my name is Lowko and welcome to some more StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today I'm playing another live game for you and this time around it's going to be a Terran versus Protoss on Frost Alley versus none other than Dragon Nyx. Don't exactly know who that is, I don't think we've played against him before, but either way I'm going to try my very best here to play a relatively macro-focused game. Now you gotta keep in mind, I don't play too much Terran myself, although obviously I've got my random account right here, somewhere hovering around rank 25 in Master League or so. So it's not like we're facing the worst players in the world either, but generally speaking, I do some very random strategies as I'm simply not completely aware of what the standard is. Now one of the things I've been working on a little bit more, as of late in particular, is the different kinds of options that you have once transitioning from the mid towards the late game. I've noticed that pretty much all of the Terran matchups are all about Liberators in the late game, and I honestly I've not really been transitioning at the proper timing so much myself. So my goal here is to obviously first off get to that point. If I can finish off the game before that, it's gonna be great. If I get killed before that, that's also more than okay. But at the very least, that is one of the main things that I've personally been working on, as I've always noticed that the opponents that I'm going up against, like in Protoss versus Terran, for example, when I play Protoss, they are transitioning towards that Liberator tech much faster than I do, and it's something that I need to make sure that I keep in mind. So I'm gonna go straight into the orbital command here. We're gonna start going for the Reaper now as well, and very shortly I'll be following it up with the command center here. We'll have to make sure obviously that we either get a missile turret out in time or that we get plenty of Marines to deal with any kind of potential aggression, but since this is a 4-player map, I am making sure that I got the very first Reaper out as early as possible to start doing a little bit of scouting action. On top of that, gonna be following it up with another depot right there at the ramp, and I will also getting the second gas geyser. So far so good. Now that I've got the Reaper nearly done, I'm immediately gonna lift this thing up, go for the reactor here instead, and we're gonna do a little bit of scouting here, primarily with the Reaper. I obviously do need to make sure I follow this up with a barracks at least reasonably soon. And I also need to make sure, obviously, that I don't die to any kind of, for example, Oracle aggression that my opponent can throw at me here relatively early on into the game as well. But all in all, I'm okay with this situation so far. Well, to follow it up now as well with a factory, because I will need that too, in order to start producing a solid amount of units. Didn't want you in there. Did not want you in there. You may actually start being a little bit annoying here. That's alright. We'll get you to safety here. At least I got that thing started. Marines will be done shortly. And my second depot is, or my second command center here is just about to finish up, which is very nice. Now I'm gonna start producing 2 Marines here at a time for a little while. It's because I do need that. Looks like there's a Twilight Council already going down for my opponent here, which could be an indication of him going for some sort of aggression very soon. He's also getting a bunch of army, and obviously the most common build right now is for my opponent to go for some sort of adept aggression. I do see that quite a bit. We'll try and pick up whatever we can here. And we'll also add on the command center towards the low ground. Gotta make sure I get out there though. Alright, so he may actually be going for Blink, which wouldn't be too surprising. I think I'm okay here to go for the double engineering bay, right? Not entirely sure if I am, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it anyway. Since I did not see my opponent going for very much aggression, at least early on, I think I'm okay to take that risk. I mean, he could obviously also go Dark Templar, but I guess that's not too common either. I want to go, maybe I'm actually not having enough gas here now I'm thinking about it. Maybe I'm not having enough gas. The problem here is that I'm want to go for double upgrades as well as double Medivac production. Medivac being very, very good, but this may be a little bit too greedy. Although it seems to line up alright. Seems to line up alright so far. Gonna make sure that obviously I get my depot action going on once again. Move those towards the low ground. I will put a couple of turrets down, just in case of Dark Templar. Really don't want to get bothered by those. And at this point, I'm actually alright. So let me make sure that I got everything hotkeyed. Gonna start flying that thing across here. And I don't know exactly where that SCV was going. Or that probe was going, rather. Oh, it's already going for a third base? Wow. So greedy. So extremely greedy. Alright. We may have to go for a bit of aggression then. He is gonna go for a very heavy macro focus, and I am gonna go for a push right when these upgrades finish. Now notice, I haven't actually gotten my upgrades very early on here whatsoever. And did I just hit a minor supply block? Oh, that's actually not good. That's actually not good. I nearly have enough though for a supply drop, so I'm just gonna use that. But generally speaking, obviously, that's not really where you want to be going. Anyway, now that I got a bunch of Medivacs out, I can start moving across the map because we can actually quite easily get out of trouble. But the problem, obviously, is that my upgrades aren't quite done yet. I won't have Stimpack for this push either. So it's gonna be a pretty important feat for me to at least do a little bit of damage. Now, I got a pretty sizable army, so there's that. Okay, we're gonna start moving that guy over. Get rid of this, because I really don't need it. And I think we're gonna start moving here. I'm gonna expand towards a fourth base. Or a third base, rather. And by the time I get to the other side of the map, I think we're gonna be okay with the amount of units that I will have at that point, at the very least. Oh. Gonna try and pick that off. That was a pretty sweet move, Lowko, not gonna lie. That looked pretty cool. That looked really badass at the very least. We get those gases. And we're gonna start pushing. +1/+1 is done. Mothership core doesn't have much yet. Oh, he's going straight into a bunch of he's going straight into a bunch of other High Templar here. He's probably not gonna have enough here yet, though. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Time for me to start pushing onwards. Got my third base done, so we're gonna start getting a little bit of work done here as well. Although, not entirely sure here. No, I don't think we want to really go for that. If I would have had Stimpack up, I think I would have had a quite an easy time here to try and get the damage in, but... Okay, gonna start landing the mules again. And we're gonna start transitioning towards +2 attack as well. Just because I think that's gonna be one of the more important upgrades. Now, he's going for a pretty interesting army composition that I haven't been seeing very much. So we'll see how this will work out. It's gonna be pretty difficult for me to call right now. I think in general, Marine Marauder should be working out really nicely. Finally do have Stimpack finished up, by the way. I'm gonna go for the slow here as well. Okay. Going for that one snipe there. Did get the High Templar. Trying to get as many units out here as possible. Okay, here we go, here we go. He doesn't have any storm. Trying to just produce as much stuff here as possible. Ooh, that was a good storm. But I think I will have a lot of units here that he won't be able to deal with very easily. That's great for me. We get those upgrades. I'm gonna go straight into watch a fourth base here as well. Although, ooh, he just did a huge storm there. But we still have a lot of stuff left over. And my opponent really doesn't have all that much. Now, I don't really need to fight here, to be completely honest with you. I don't really need to fight here whatsoever. I mean, I got another couple bases here compared to my opponent. As long as we get some Dark Templar detection out, I think we're gonna be a-okay. Do a quick scan. He doesn't have much of anything. I'll just keep on macroing for as many units here as possible. I wanted to go +2/+2, but I think I may very well be able to finish him off before that is even the case. Although, just in case, I guess I'm gonna be starting up the upgrades anyway. It's a safety precaution. Medivacs are very low on energy. I'm gonna start flying that thing over there, though. Okay. Here we go. He's got a lot of storms. Really don't want to fight with the storms there. And I'm just producing as much as I can. So far, so good. Okay, we're trying to fight from several angles now. Good. Okay. Maybe we need to get at... We'll push again once +2/+2 finishes. We killed most of the High Templar there though, which is a really big deal. Actually, I'm gonna go for an orbit or for a planetary here. As long as we keep on the pressure, I think we're gonna be in a fine position. He is getting another base here. How much is +2/+2 from finishing? It's about halfway done. Okay. Never actually got the Stimpak upgrade. Or the combat shield upgrade. Oh man. He actually has a lot of stuff all of a sudden. Maybe I went a little bit overboard on the aggression. But we're definitely making solid progress here with Terran though. Even if I end up losing this game, I'm really happy with the way this aggression is going here. Like obviously you can't win all games. I think we're still in a really solid place here though, but... yeah, we should be fine. +2/+2 is about to finish. Okay, don't really want to go for any drop aggression here. I don't think I need that. Is +2/+2 done? Yep. Getting +3/+3 immediately as well. Oh man. Oh, those storms did so much damage. Oh man, he's actually holding on really nicely. I messed up a little there. I actually messed up because my macro started slipping there. Okay, need to get more and more deep or more and more of those things. And actually, I'm giving him a really good shot at getting back into the game. This is what I'm talking about, right? Made a slight mistake there and immediately did get punished by it. We'll start adding on a bunch of the Liberator. Obviously, we gotta try and get as many of those here as possible. Also do need to make sure I get like a couple of sensor towers. He still doesn't have a huge army though. Anyway, we'll start adding on the Liberators here. I'm gonna start switching that thing over for sure. He probably has a fort base himself now as well, which is a little unfortunate for us. I'm gonna start moving these two over though, so I can start producing some additional units. And I think we may very well have to go for like a 5th base now too. Now that we've got a really sizable army. Okay, adding on more Liberators. As many as I can. They're really expensive though. I actually have a lot of idle SCVs now too. Well, we're maxed out, so I think it's time to get moving for us. +3/+3 is nearly done. They will do plenty of damage. Obviously, I can't really be eating any storms. Maybe I should consider going for ghosts. Oh. Okay. Man, let's get so many storms. I don't even know where all of these storms come from. He didn't seem to have very much supply left over there. I probably should have switched into Ghost much sooner than I did here. Whew! Whew! Nice! Alrighty, so here we are in the replay of the game. Now, I do want to address the whole Ghost situation real quick, right? Because obviously, if I would have known my opponent would go for really heavy Storm play like he was doing in this particular match, I would have added on Ghosts as well. I don't really feel very comfortable with my Ghost control at all, because I've only done it like 1 or 2 games in total. Like, I've really not done it very often. And I feel like most of the time, right, it sort of feels like playing with Zerg. If your opponent is managing to dodge the, for example, Fungal Growth nicely, or for example, the, the Psionic Storms nicely, the actual ability won't do too much. But in this game, even though I was thinking I was really far ahead for the majority of it, my opponent still had a sizable army, and the Storms really kept him in it. So I think I may have very well been underestimating the strength of Storm there, just because I haven't really played too many games for it. Like, most people seem to not focus on that army composition too much, and they switch into Disruptor and whatnot. But all in all, I'm really happy with the progress here. Yeah, Storm just murders Bio. Wow. Alright, maybe I should respect the ability a little bit more. I mean, when I scanned here and I knew that my opponent had so many High Templar, I think I should have immediately put down the Ghost Academy and just switched into it. Because these sort of fights right here, even though I'm still very far ahead in supply, they should have gone significantly in my favor, right? And I really give him an opportunity here to come back when there was absolutely zero reason for it. So, if I would have, pushed down the Ghost Academy like a minute or two ago, when I scanned right over there and I saw that there were several Ghosts or several High Templar out, I think I would have been in a really good spot. In the end, we ended up winning it, not so much because I microed very well, but primarily because we just macroed better than him and we just had a lot more units, right? Like, right now I'm maxed out and my opponent is 126 supply. That's just an indication of having a lot of stuff. But I do want to go back to that final fight for just a second, right? Let me actually back it up for just a second here. I feel like I was microing this bit quite well, and I was paying attention to the High Templar, right? I was trying to pay attention here. We're playing it at ×2. I was trying to dodge all the Storms to the best of my abilities. And I think I did that quite well. That one was, alright. That one I dodged quite alright as well. But he had more Storm than I realized. And I guess it's those 3. Those pretty much all had, yeah, like he all had Storms on those individually available as well. So it wasn't just the High Templar that was with his army. So I think those are the ones that really killed me here, honestly. Like, I did a lot of damage. And then these High Templar came in as well. At least that's what I'm assuming. He actually didn't? Oh yeah, he did there in the end. That's crazy. Yeah, I severely underestimated Stormer in the final fight. In the end though, we just simply had more units than him. So we ended up picking the victory up because of it. Next time around though, I think I need to work on my Ghost Academy timing. Either way, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. If you haven't already, do hit that like button. If you want to see more content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you get a notification as soon as I do upload more. And other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Have an amazing day. Do not forget to smile, alright? And I'll see you in the next one. Bye!